Want to know what's happening locally? Here are some great Franklin websites to keep you informed. The town's official calendar is at franklinma.gov/calendar. You can also visit franklinmatters.org. Community radio in the public interest. This is WFPRLP, Franklin on 102.9 FM. And worldwide, 24/7 at WFPR.FM. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, welcome back for part 2 of Talking the Blues. I am Jim Derrick, and he is
Nick Remasong.
And we're still here.
We are.
We haven't melted. We got beautiful air conditioning in our studios here at WFPR 102.9 FM in downtown Franklin, Massachusetts.
All set? Thanks, Chris. Can you hear me? Okay. Welcome, everybody, to the November 21st, 2022 Franklin Planning Board meeting. This meeting is audio and video recorded. There's also Zoom, and the Zoom number is 312-626-6799, and the meeting number is 8657-555-9649. And I'd like to open up the meeting with general business. And first line item A, we're going to push down till after discussion, which will be subdivision changes. But we'll go to line item B, which is the endorsement for 341 Union Street. I guess we can go to Amy from Department of Planning if you want to give us a quick run through, please.
Sure, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This was for, it was actually a limited site plan and special permit for the La Catina Winery that is going to open business at 341 Union Street. The planning board approved the limited site plan and special permit on June 6, 2022. They did add the certificate of vote to the plans. Reviewing the certificate of vote, there weren't any special conditions other than they would need to go to design review for any signage, so which they have not submitted anything yet for signage. And they're here tonight for endorsement.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Make a motion to endorse 341 Union Street, La Cantina.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next line would be the meeting minutes from October 3rd, 2022. Anybody has any comments, deletions, additions? If not, make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from October 3rd, 2022. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we also have the October 17th, 2022 meeting minutes. Do I hear any additions or deletions from it? And if not, do I hear a motion?
A motion to approve the minutes from October 17th?
Yep. Is a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And now we'll go to a public hearing, which is for 700 Union Street. Want to approach the mic? Oh.
All right, nice seeing everyone again this evening. Josh Klein with Stonefield Engineering and Design. We're here representing the applicant, Primrose Schools. We were here a couple weeks ago, really to kind of wrap up. Our hope is a few kind of final items. And what I'll do is I'll just hold the plan next to me, because there's no public here. But essentially, this is kind of the latest rendering, and the big change we made coming out of the meeting, we have addressed all of the town engineer comments. At this point, all of the Beta's engineering comments have either been addressed or items that would be handled post-construction, some kind of, post-construction stormwater related items, kind of some minor items to that note. So the big kind of item in working with both Beta and Mike is we are proposing an improvement at the corner for pedestrian access. So we're proposing a painted crosswalk along both Spruce Pond as well as Union Street to connect to the sidewalk across the street. And then what we're doing is we're proposing a sidewalk or path down to the front entrance of our school. So again, I think that hopefully addressed, some of the concerns at the last meeting regarding kind of that pedestrian connectivity at the corner and kind of tying in some of those improvements.
Thank you. I'd like to go to Amy. Amy to Department of Planning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think at the last meeting, the board did discuss the 4 waivers that I do have listed in my memo. If they do decide to make a decision tonight, they would need to vote on those waivers. Based on, and I can have Beta elaborate a little bit more, I did have several suggested conditions based on Beta's review. Defer to Beta to kind of go over those.
Okay. I guess we'll go to Mike from DPW. Mike, do you have any questions or comments? Or everything from your side taken care of?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. They addressed all our previous comments. The only outstanding thing really is what came up at the last meeting that had to do with the sidewalk going all along the frontage of the property. They do show the connection to their site. They updated in the plans. I think they still need a waiver for continuing the sidewalk along the entire frontage, but they do have access from the street down to the building, so I'd leave that up to the board. But all of our engineering's, all the DPW previous comments have been addressed.
Okay, thank you. And Gary from Beta, if you want to.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. They have pretty much addressed all of our comments. The only comment that we had outstanding that remained was when they did add the sidewalk connection up to the front, they added a little bit of impervious, and we're just asking for them to convert one of the manholes between those 2 area drains in front of the building, the connection into the subsurface system, to be able to provide the pretreatment required by it. I think it was just an oversight because they did add the additional impervious. But other than that, they have responded to every comment that we have provided, that we have given to them.
Okay.
We have nothing further, and I'm going to turn it back to the chair.
Okay, good, thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments from the board? Beth?
Just wanted to confirm that the plan that you just handed us is not in this set, so when we go to vote, we should incorporate this in because of the way you were processing what you were working with the town to.
It should be.
Okay.
We did a full resubmission beforehand. So
Okay.
the colorized version is just an exhibit.
All right,
Okay.
Just so
But it is if you have revision 4/11/11/2022.
okay, just wanted to make sure, because this one's dated 11/18, so I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't changed after the site plan.
Got it. This is just the color version.
Okay,
so
just
none of
making
the-
sure. All right,
Yeah.
great, thank you.
Through the chair,
Yeah, sure.
I just wanted to say thank you for making the changes to the sidewalk. I think it's awesome. That's going to connect to the street, and there'll be full connectivity to the street. My one question to Mike is, sidewalks, the crosswalks themselves, will the town be installing those, or will you all be making those improvements as a part of this project?
We would be painting the
You'll
crosswalk.
paint the crosswalks. Okay. Okay, great, thank you.
Okay,
That's all.
good. Jake? any comments? No?
I'm good. I'm all
Rick?
set.
Okay, no? Okay, actually, so I'll make a motion to close the hearing for, sorry. Oh, yeah, I don't see anybody waving their hand. Anybody on Zoom have any comments, questions? I didn't see anybody this one.
No, there's no one.
Okay. I'll make a motion to close 700 Union Street.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so now make a motion to vote on
The waivers,
the waivers in the general conditions for 700 Union Street,
would you like me to read them?
if you could, please.
Sure. Make a motion on the following waivers. 185-31C4E, minor light overspill beyond property at driveway location. Waiver request 185-28, required sidewalk along frontage. 185-29, required curbing along frontage. 185-32A, foundation wall height. Motion to accept,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
then make a motion to
Okay.
accept the following conditions. Provide long-term prevention plan or include as part of the operation and maintenance plan. Applicant is to provide the necessary agreements for the site utilizing the existing sewer and drain easements. A revised stormwater pollution plan is to be submitted prior to the start of construction. A test pit is to be completed in the footprint of the new underground infiltration system prior to the start of construction to confirm soil suitability. Motion to accept those conditions?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Make a motion to approve the plan set for Primrose School Company at 700 to 712 Union Street.
All in favor? Second, excuse me? All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
All set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Good
You
luck.
too.
Okay, we have another public hearing, which is for 704 Washington Street, and they're looking to be continued. Amy, what do you think the availability and their timing is?
Yeah, so they want to be continued to December 5th.
Okay. So I make a motion to continue 704 Washington Street to December 5th.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And now we'll go back to general business, which we spoke of the discussion for the subdivision change. If we could, I could go to Amy for Department of Planning for a quick
Sure,
review, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The board had asked to look into a couple changes with the subdivision rules and regulations that fall under section 300-13, which is other improvements. The first one was regarding the installation of sidewalks for new subdivisions to be installed probably prior to the occupancy before the person occupies the house. Second request was also for similar, where the trees and landscaping would be installed on the lot prior to the occupancy of the permit. Kind of when putting this together, just one thing, I originally had thought that you would, if you had a small subdivision, you'd install the entire sidewalk or all the landscaping. I don't know if that's really feasible. So I kind of, I put these together as per lot, which kind of, you know, I don't know, you're gonna have a sidewalk, might end while they build the next lot, but at least that property owner sees what the end result of their lot is going to look like by that way. Because, I mean, they could develop one lot and not develop another one for 2-3 years. So as it's read in the board, obviously this is just draft format, can discuss any changes, is adding 2 sections to 300-13. I would add A to D. If the lot will have a sidewalk abutting the property, the sidewalk shall be installed prior to an occupancy permit. The second one is E to D, and it would read, all new trees and landscaping shall be installed on each lot prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit.
I have a question to the chair. Going back to what Amy was saying, so if we have a subdivision, say that there's 4, 5, 6, 7 houses, I know what you're saying, that if they do one house and get the occupancy and they're not gonna do the rest, it kind of makes sense not to put the burden on the builder, just to complete in front of that one home. But we just ran into that, kind of that situation over off of Washington Street, where it went on so long. Don't you think we should kind of, if you're gonna build, if it comes in for a 7-house subdivision, 10 houses, whatever, you do it all And even though you're only gonna build one, all sidewalks and trees should be in.
I
Would
think
that be asking too much?
a compromise position might be to say that the sidewalk abutting the home must have continuation to the beginning of the subdivision, or where the subdivision meets an existing road. So therefore, if you develop the first 2 lots in, they've got sidewalk in front of their homes that connects to the road, but the developer doesn't have the burden of developing the lots further into the
Right,
subdivision.
I agree with that, so that's what I'm trying to say.
So I think adding that is like a somewhere in between what we're looking to do, and not putting a huge burden on development.
Well, okay, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm kind of thinking also is that, say it's a 10-lot house, subdivision, but the number 1 house that's built is in the very back of the subdivision, has the sidewalk,
Yeah.
and they're potential walkers. So they only have sidewalks in front of their house, but no sidewalks anywhere else.
That clause would
That-
cover that.
right.
This would cover that. It would
Well,
say,
yeah.
fine, you can develop all the way back there, but if you do that, it has to connect all the way to here.
Yeah, I like
At
that.
that time.
Yeah.
At that time.
Okay,
At the time.
Okay, that,
Prior
okay,
to
that, I
occupancy.
agree with that. I agree with that, yes.
It-
But, so
I
that's
get
what I'm
it.
saying, if,
Sure.
if you just do the one in front of that home and not the rest, that person can only go there, and now they're walking in the street, so.
So Jake, could you repeat that language?
It's something like,
Hold on, I want to add to that though, real
Yeah,
quick.
fire away.
I just, as long as the sidewalk goes to the next, to the adjoining property line, so it's not stopped 15 feet in front of the guy's driveway.
yeah,
Let it go to the next property
Yeah,
line, so the
property
whole
line to property
frontage
line.
has
yes.
the sidewalk, yeah.
Yeah.
Just stranger things have
Yeah, it
happened.
must be continuous from the property looking for occupancy to the
To the
to
next
the end of the
adjoining property.
nearest, to the end of the development, or, nearest developed right-of-way, or whatever that
Or
language is.
just to the next property line, say like Willie was saying, if the first 2 lots got built, the first 2 lots get landscaping and the sidewalks, up to the 3rd lot is where
Yeah.
it potentially stops.
Yeah, you can almost think of it like this, if you're looking at the house, right, and you say, to this side of the house must connect to the next road that has that's already under construction, and this must go to the property line.
Correct.
You can end it at the property line and wait, so, but most developers.
You
are
wanna
gonna-
give them the opportunity
Yeah.
to build the house and without wiping it all up, but we also wanted in prior to see a vote, because this is the 3rd time this has come in
And
front of us.
realistically, most developers aren't gonna put the last house in the
No.
subdivision, and
But
they have
just
to
in
extend
case,
the road there and
yeah.
the utilities there, and they're not gonna do that until,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Under what conditions would we approve a waiver? And that, because it's ultimately gonna happen.
We'll cross that road when it comes up.
like limited number of houses in the subdivision, if it's like a 2-home subdivision, so it's effectively a private road kind of deal,
Yeah, I think,
something like that.
Amy, your thoughts?
No, I think that sounds good. So I'm just trying to think of how to word where the sidewalk would start, because
It would start at the
it would
main road,
start, okay, so it would start
at like the,
at the road you're coming off of to develop the subdivision, basically.
correct.
And then it would go to the next property line.
Yep,
Yep, the nearest
to
development.
the far end of the property to be developed.
Okay, so it's basically similar, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, do you mind if I?
Yeah, Beth actually had
So,
caught
Amy,
something.
If you
Right.
look in 313, which I'm sure you read it, because you came up with the numbering system here, so the letter B, B, has similar language to what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So it says sidewalks shall extend to the paved roadway at intersections to provide convenient walk-off or crossing. So something similar, like
Yeah, I mean,
pavement.
I could
Side-
try to write it down, it's probably easier if I like said.
Yeah, if you want to,
Yeah, if you want.
Mr. Chairman, what do you think? Should we draft something up?
Sure. If you can draft what you, I mean, I personally like what your
Yeah,
ideas
and
are,
then do we,
and it
how do we
covers
do this,
us.
like, bring it to the next meeting and we present it in an open meeting kind of format, is that the way to do
We
Or
have
do
a
you wanna
public
just
hearing on
send it to-
this. So I've scheduled the public hearing on December 5th.
5th.
If the board wants to move forward and take a vote on it, or they can continue it that night, but just, the advertising deadlines, I had to do it last week before this meeting, and I
sure.
wanted to get it in. So we can bring another draft with us on next meeting, and
Do you wanna send it to Amy
Yeah.
first, and
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
she can tweak
Oh,
it,
yeah.
and when,
Yeah.
with the next meeting, we're ready to
Sure.
go with it.
Yeah,
Like
just
a
email
sentence
it.
or two,
All
you
in,
know.
like
Do you wanna
what
send me
you-
what you
what you
have,
say.
drafted, do you mind doing that?
yeah.
Is it in here?
Yeah.
So in my packet. But I have to completely,
Send it to me, it's so much easier, it goes to the top. It flows to the top.
that's, no, I can email, I'm gonna email you what we
Sure.
discussed tonight. How's that?
And, okay, so that's the sidewalk, so then the landscaping will should entail the
So-
same concept. I guess you say wherever the new sidewalk is, providing
Landscaping
frontage
should
to
be.
that house, that's where the landscaping of the trees should be planted accordingly.
I wonder if that makes sense. I wonder if
Does.
that with the landscaping, it can be lot specific.
Yeah, I'm almost like going
Because,
the other way.
you know, because you're not gonna start clear cutting, you know, parts of, you know, forest or the final landscaping plan on a bunch of lots that may not be developed for a while, right? I feel
No,
like,
You'd be surprised, they go in and clear cut
Yeah.
everything, and then they,
Yeah.
you
But,
know.
but as long as the trees are planted prior to C of O.
right, but I wonder if those could be lot specific versus the whole,
Oh, no, I think those can be lot specific rather than the whole road.
Mr. Chairman, I think that's kind of what that says,
Right.
though, doesn't it?
yeah.
I don't have
Occupancy
mine open.
permit,
Yeah,
so if you're issuing
Each
the
lot
occupancy
prior to
permit,
issuance.
yeah,
Yeah.
then it's really lot specific.
it's lot specific, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, yeah,
I
definitely.
think it's written.
Because I don't want the guy planting trees on lots that
Exactly.
aren't gonna be affected, they're gonna
Right.
get damaged, but we also wanna make sure that, like Beth was saying, when the people come to get, take delivery of their house, they pretty much know what's in
Yes,
front of them.
yes.
That's,
Mhm.
it has to be built according to our regulations, that's
Yep.
all. Okay,
Agreed.
make sense?
Agreed.
I like it.
Okay.
Good.
So Jay, you can do a quick
Yeah,
draft and then.
Yeah, I
send
can,
it to
I'll
me?
send you,
one
I'll
sentence.
follow up an email with you tomorrow.
Yeah, no,
So
I'm
it's
good.
There, okay,
It's just like one sentence.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Okay,
no,
so
that's
much
good,
going on.
thank you. So we'll just leave it as general business, we'll continue?
Yeah, at next meeting it will be, yeah, it's just general business tonight, so no
Yep.
votes or anything, but next meeting will be the public hearing.
Okay,
So,
all right. Anybody else have anything?
Mhm.
I just wanna wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
You know,
same
you
to
and
you.
your families,
Yeah.
enjoy, don't eat too much. All right,
Time you
make
get
it,
egg.
yeah. Make a motion to adjourn,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Guys,
Have a great holiday, everyone.
thank
You too,
you,
Mike.
enjoy.
Record meeting.
Oh, my God.
And he's kind of standing there in the back wings, and all of a sudden there's two huge arms reach out from behind him, and there's his head on his shoulder, and he whispered in his ear is, "What are you doing for the folk?" And he turned around and he says, "The folk are doing fine." They said it in unison. They were friends at that time. All the animosity and all the fear gone.
It buried the hatchet.
Yeah, well, Taj Mahal realized that these people were
Sure.
in being. He
took care of
revered
them.
these people. He
Yeah.
took care of them.
Yeah,
He was not
yeah.
he didn't exploit anybody.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah.
And so many were
Yeah.
exploited and lost
Oh,
along
God,
the way.
yeah.
So Dick Waterman really an important and influential figure. And yeah, I can't wait to get that book, Nick.
Next up, we're going to hear from the Reverend Gary Davis in a tune, "Death Don't Have No Mercy." The Reverend was just an amazing, powerful performer. Came out of the choir, like a lot of them, out of the church, and he always was torn about the fact that he was playing the devil's music. So you can